All right. I don't know how many folks caught the public retro, but we talked about, I quoted Matthias on our last retro and improving our ability to measure the impact of code changes. And now that is a follow-up item for our monthly public retro. So hopefully we make some progress on it this month. I don't think we have a lot of issues that are focused on that, but it should be an increasing focus of this team as we transition out of doing import work and onto more memory related issues. So something to keep in mind as we're grooming out 12.9 and 12.10. And then OKRs for Q1, y'all can read that. There was also from the last company retro, there was a goal to reduce the review to merge time by a day. And there was no link for that. It was just something that was commented in the retro. So I will try to find more data on that. So there's a new priority severity scheme, which everybody can read. During VP office hours, it was mentioned that discretionary bonuses have kind of fallen off. And there's a trend that you can follow on discretionary bonuses. Whenever it's mentioned, they spike back up, then they kind of trail off for about a quarter, and then they spike back up. So something to keep in mind if you see your teammates or someone else you're working with doing a great job. Anybody can nominate anybody else for a discretionary bonus. So please do. If you see some great work happening, just please recognize it. And if anybody needs any help or has any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me anytime. And then under the new work section, MK, Matthias, you created something?
Yep. Can you hear me? Yeah. Yes, I created this because I had spent some time on it. So there was a bug report. It was kind of an obscure issue again, where a customer was running Geo. Don't ask me any details about this. I don't know a whole lot about it. But so the problem was that the secondary database node was not picking up this pool sizing logic that we added for under Puma. Because, this is actually not for Puma, like it's only relevant for Sidekick, but any multi-threaded environment, we want to scale the database pool up to need, to match at least the number of threads that we run. And due to an order initialization issue, it was not picked up by this Geo node. So I had looked into ways for how to fix that, and there was some discussion in MRs. So I'm kind of still looking into that, but because I first thought it would be like an easy fix, so I just do it, but it took a little bit more time, so I just ended up actually creating an issue for it. Because there's an MR, but there's still discussion happening, so I'm just gonna come back to this when we, I guess, get the import stuff done, or some time in between when there's time.
Okay. Thanks. And then there was a request for development bootcamp video series. So y'all can read about that if there's anything you're interested in volunteering for. Yeah, feel free to comment on the issue or volunteer. There is a new GitLab quad planning process. So that is an effort to get Grant and the quality team involved earlier in the development stage. It probably applies less to us because it's more about product breakdown when they're defining a new feature, getting quality involved so they can help define testing and everything. So something to keep in mind as we're spinning up new development. I think we do a pretty good job of getting quality involved, but this this codifies the process for us. So again, something to read on. And then, so next, security training. Everybody needs to take it by July. I know that Nicola and Matthias have both taken it because it's part of the onboarding template. And it's just those 2 days worth of videos. So I need to know everybody else who has completed it. And since you're the only one on here, Alexi, have you taken that training?
Actually, I was listening it when it was online. As far as I remember, it was after I joined, right?
Yes,
there was an expert invited. I was listening to him for a couple of sessions, but is there some sort of test or some sort of recap? I just need to check that I watched all the lessons. Yep. That's the thing I need to verify for myself, because maybe I missed something.
No,
I will check it. but I
Okay.
definitely worked at least partially.
Okay. And
There's
I'll
only
check.
2 sessions. It's just they're very
Two
long. There's like
sessions.
full day. It's 2 sessions, but it's 2 times 8 hours. So it's like 2 full days.
Yeah.
Maybe I watched it all. I will check
Yeah.
it. I will check it.
Yeah, if memory serves, I think you and Chinyu did participate. I just need to verify and update the related issue that I didn't link here, but I will add it in.
Okay. I will recheck it and report back.
Okay, thank you. And I will add the link. Let's see, Chinyu updated the board with the work that he was doing. And Matthias, so you're still stuck on SSH access, Matthias?
Yeah, I saw it was reassigned to someone else. So I think there is movement. It's just, yeah, it's not done yet.
Was it reassigned to Dave Smith?
Oh, I don't remember. I can.
That is the wrong issue, sorry. No. Yeah, you might want to just ping him directly. They get flooded
Okay.
with requests and sometimes
Yeah,
they just fall off.
Yeah, I
So
can see that. Yeah, I had a similar problem with this GCP access ticket that never went anywhere. It's been open
Yep.
for 2 weeks now as well. I'm not sure where to. I posted in the backend channel again. Maybe someone knows how to go about this stuff.
Okay. Lexi?
Yeah, this first one is basically finished. I was just verifying it from the weekend that pipelines were running and finished correctly. So I will close the first one. We have this private project. And the second one, I'm finishing the first part of it, which is very simple Slack integration, which will post the results into some channel. For example, our channel to start with, and then the channel of the appropriate team. And then I'm thinking also how to incorporate metrics on something more, something to store the data, not just post it and report it. So Slack integration will be ready today or early tomorrow because it's almost working. So, and metrics, I will keep you updated about metrics.
Okay, awesome. Chinyu updated Matthias.
Yeah, the first one is in maintainer review. So actually Camille already reviewed it as well, but since he's on leave, he just said, just ping another maintainer to merge it. So I'm just waiting for a maintainer to merge it, but it's done. And then the next one is the follow-up story that builds on the previous one. That's in progress. And the last one is just like removing the feature flag, but I can't, for the dedup logic, but I can't do that until I've tested it. And for this, I need SSH access. So yeah, I'll try to get that sorted out soon.
Okay. On the first one, how long has it been in? How long have you been waiting for a maintainer to merge?
The very first one.
Yeah.
Let me check. Timestamps here. I mean, is this always counting from the first like interaction you have with the maintainer, because they might leave feedback and then you do something? Or is it like,
no, from last feedback?
So since they said it's fine and until it goes in?
Yeah.
Well, it hasn't gone in yet. So like Camille, I think we reviewed it yesterday.
Sorry, you said you were waiting for a maintainer to merge it. How long has it been since?
Oh, I just reassigned it today because Camille approved it yesterday, but he said I'm waiting for, I should assign someone else for this to merge.
Okay.
And that's what I did today. So no one has responded yet, but it hasn't been a full day yet even. So.
Okay, good. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that you weren't waiting an unreasonable amount of time for this to get merged. Okay, cool. Thank you. Nicola, you're up. Can't hear you. Are you talking? Nicola, I think you're on mute.
Yeah. Sorry about that. The second one is completed. Camille did maintainer review, but Stan, who is currently associated to merge it because Camille is out. So I'm just waiting for Stan Hu to merge it to master. And
Okay.
regarding the first one, there is no progress since the last week. I'm not sure what to do with it. Is it going to be covered by Alexei's task, or what should we do?
What's the question? Sorry.
And since we are going to delete the Excel project, I
Oh,
guess it will be covered with Alexei script.
yeah.
If we're going to delete Excel project, we need to use something that QA is working on, right? I mean,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
GitLab AQ is not reasonable to use.
Hmm.
Maybe
You will
we
need
still
also
have
to
some
measure those
time.
things. And since you are using the API in your MR,
Mm-hmm.
is your script measuring things? I don't remember.
The issue is like your script or George's script is measuring all kind of stuff, while my script is only measuring time. So like memory pressure and all this kind of details. And also we still need to either upload this huge import on the box, because we are not going to upload something really huge through an API. Bigger than 1 gigabyte, I think that's unreasonable, right?
Craig, I have another MR that is almost merged. It also just needs to be merged with master. It's approved by maintainer and everything else. And this one is adding those measurement methods inside this import rake task that we are using for import. So maybe if someone of us like Alexei or Matthias get access to the staging, we can run that import once it's merged and just test the timings and all other numbers against the ones that we measured on like local machine. And this way we can complete this issue. I'm not sure. Maybe
Yeah, I
we
mean,
just run this import rake task manually if someone has access.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. We'll play on it. Whoever will get an access.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
really useful for me as well, because I had also just thought I would just do my own measurements again. But I think it's really nice to. Thanks for doing that, by the way, Nicola. I think it's great to have like a shared basis for doing these measurements, because otherwise we all keep pulling different numbers.
yeah, if we need to rescope the issue to remove that Excel import since the data is no longer available, then we can just do that.
Just a quick question. I was just listening to that there, and someone mentioned that customers wouldn't, well, people wouldn't be expected to do an import of like a gig or more, which is fair. That would be quite rare, but it would still happen from time to time if a customer did go off and buy GitLab and were quietly just setting up their own environment and they had a big mono repo. Are we going to go and codify super large imports in docs or something, and say if you're importing a super large file, then that would be a coordinated effort with us and our support team maybe to upload it to guide them through the process of doing it for a rake task? Or
That's a good question. Well, technically, since we enable chunked requests in our own script, we would be able to upload a very large import. It would be just very, very slow. But I'm not sure if chunked is enabled everywhere.
it won't be, no, because we had to do that as a request. It's unlike, it would be also even less likely that a customer would do it for the API unless they had to. Probably, most users would do it for the UI, which I imagine still got the same problems same limits as with Cloudflare.
Yeah. I think it makes sense to document this. And also currently I was pinged by our folks who are contacting Cloudflare, and they're going to increase limits for us, but we'll see the actual number soon.
It may be worth adding something to the docs regardless, just to say if you are importing a very large project.
Yeah.
It might need you might need support to guide you through it, because if it's like 10 gig, that is a very large file. Obviously, uploading it alone will take ages, and then when it fails, then you have to start over again. So maybe that should be a hand-holding kind of exercise, because it will be rare.
maximum is 500 megabytes, I think. They're gonna increase above that. That's for us, or?
For Cloudflare?
Mhm.
Yeah, for
Uh-huh.
Cloudflare, not changed. It's 500 megabytes by
Obviously, that
default.
only applies to GitLab.com and staging, technically. For customers who have like their own environment, that the Cloudflare wouldn't be a problem, but they might still have other problems uploading a massive file.
Yeah, there's also the question of, I don't know what the UX is like if you throw a 10 gigabit file at this web form currently.
The web form would just be, well, it depends on the browser, but Chrome will show off a very small text box at the bottom showing the percentage of the upload, and that's it. That's your UI.
Hmm.
And once it's finally updated, then it's just a refreshing status page of, please wait until it's processed.
But so it does give you like a proper progress
No.
bar? It doesn't.
Chrome will give you a progress for simply how much Chrome has said it's uploaded the file to the server. So that's Chrome that's doing that. The server itself won't give you any specific progress, though.
Yeah, that was my impression. It's very, very much like a single chunk on the server side.
I mean, the page will update eventually once it's complete. It refreshes every X seconds and it says import is in progress, and it keeps refreshing. And once it's finished, it comes back and shows you the project. But until then, it's just there's no information about the progress.
So do we have an issue already for this? So it sounds like we need to update documentation to give guidance on size limitations of import. And if you think you're going to exceed that size, then you need to coordinate, especially with .com, with someone. Okay. Do we have an issue for that?
I assume not, no. It's just something I thought about. Just to add to your pile, sorry.
No, that's all right.
It really shouldn't. Hopefully, it shouldn't be too big. It's just literally a docs update for the import on the import page, just to call that out. The goal obviously is just to make sure that customers aren't left kind of choiceless. They don't know where else to turn, so to speak. At least with the docs, they can go, right, okay, I can speak to an actual person now and figure out how to do this massive import. It should be rare. I mean, monorepos are rare at that size. We found this ourselves, so. And the customer one that you've been testing with there's no public repo that size, for example. That's just a rare internal one.
Now I'm curious, is this something we would do for any customer, or do you have to be in a particular tier, like to get this sort of personal support?
To get, well, the assumption is for someone to be importing a repo of significant size, they would be a paid customer. That's a correlation. There's no direct link there, but usually customers who would be doing that would be large customers who would be paying. But you're right, technically, that if someone was uploading a 10 gig file and they were just doing it on a free tier core, they wouldn't have the access to the support, no. And if you wanted to cover that, then you need to update the docs to cover how to do that. If it's a self-managed instance, they would need to go and upload it maybe directly from Rake. If it's GitLab.com, there is no strict solution really because they wouldn't have access to support. But as I say, the chances are low, but even though there's a chance. So that's something maybe to think about, maybe as part of this.
Okay. Look for volunteers later, but we have it captured. And then, is there anything else to talk about for what we're currently working on? Did we miss anything? Okay. And then Josh was looking for release post items from the memory team. If there's anything noteworthy to put in for 12.8, and I told him I'd spend some time this afternoon. If anybody has anything, please let me know. Just throw it in the channel and I'll make sure it gets added. Anything else we should cover for today? All right. See, the enablement group conversation is in 8 minutes. So if you're going to join, I'll see you all there. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.